Following a developing story out of Claremont this morning where federal agents are raiding a home. Mount Hope family shaken but okay after a terrifying crash, a car plowing into their home, and it's not the first time it's happened in that same neighborhood. And a local leader pushing the state to allow limited attendance at Padres games right from the start of the season. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
And welcome this midday. So good to have you with us. I'm Jim Patton, and I'm joined remotely by my co-anchor Virginia Cha and 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry. Welcome to both of you. Good to see you, and we'll be with you in just a moment. Right now, hazmat crews and DEA agents are sifting through a home in Claremont after officials say meth and fentanyl were found inside. Multiple people have been detained. ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes has details on the raid and the reaction from neighbors.
Neighbors say they have noticed suspicious activity coming from the home for some time now. As of this morning, agents seized several ounces of methamphetamine and fentanyl, but the search is not over. This is the home on Feather Avenue in Claremont. Crews have it blocked off. The hazmat team and special agents have been combing through the inside of the home all morning. You can see crews bringing evidence out in plastic bags through the front door. A special agent with the DEA says they served a search warrant at the home just before 6 this morning. That's when they found the drugs. ABC 10 News spoke to one neighbor who did not want to go on camera, but he says he was not shocked about learning what they found inside.
Once he moved in, you could tell the whole area kind of changed. All of a sudden, you'll have a bunch of cars with nice shiny rims sitting out front. Yeah, you can kind of tell that there is some weird activity going on here.
Multiple people have been detained, but there is no word yet on if any charges have been filed. Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
A terrified mother holding onto her baby after a car plowed through their Mount Hope home. It barely missed two young children asleep in that room. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell takes us through the family's moments of panic after that crash.
A mother holds on to her son as she's comforted by family members after living through a terrifying situation. Late Wednesday evening, a driver lost control of this white car on Home Avenue, driving through the guardrail and crashing into the Ocompas's home. Inside, asleep in a bed, two young children, ages 3 and 6. Their dad, Carlos, describes what he saw.
Ran to the kids, walk into the room with a whole car in our bedroom. Kids are not on the bed, digging through stuff. Me and my wife looking for the kids. They're not responding.
Eventually, they found their two children under the rubble and debris.
For moments in my head, I was like, is this it? It's hard to think it, but when you're just looking there, you can't hear them, you can't see them.
But this isn't the first time something like this has happened in this specific neighborhood. In 2016, our breaking news tracker was there as another car made it past the guardrail, but that time landed just inches away from another house. This morning, city crews were back again replacing the guardrail as the family begins the process of cleaning up what's left of their home. As for the driver who crashed into this home, that person was injured and taken to the hospital. Police say at this point the cause of the crash is still under investigation. Reporting from Mount Hope, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
We are a little over a month away from opening day, and now one county leader is asking the state to allow the Padres to welcome back fans on day one. Supervisor Jim Desmond sent a letter to the governor requesting clearance to host fans at Petco Park. Desmond pointed to examples of events held with spectators in college football and the NFL, including the Super Bowl. Desmond is suggesting letting in fans at 25% capacity, socially distancing and requiring masks. Earlier this week, a Padres executive said they are already preparing safety plans and precautions and would be ready to safely host limited crowds by opening day. Meanwhile, a turning point on the horizon in the county's vaccine rollout. Teachers, police officers, and grocery store workers all among the group of people who will be eligible to be vaccinated starting Saturday. The county moving down the tier list as more people in the original tier get vaccinated. Opening things up further will make hundreds of thousands more San Diegans eligible this weekend, but it could take a little while to meet that demand.
there will not be 500,000 appointments available on Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday, or for many weeks coming forward. And so we need folks to be patient.
County officials say they're specifically setting aside vaccine doses for people who teach grades K through 12 as San Diego Unified eyes a mid-April reopening date. They say CAL FIRE will be helping them vaccinate eligible San Diegans in rural areas, including those who work in agriculture. Now, you can find more info on the vaccine rollout and who will be eligible in this latest expansion on 10news.com. Jim?
Now, Virginia, an update on the nearly $2 trillion COVID relief bill. It's up for debate in Congress, and there is hope it could pass the House by tomorrow. However, it's a different story in the Senate. As of late last night, not one Republican had publicly said that they would back the legislation as it stands. A decision from the Senate is expected today that could determine whether a hike in the federal minimum wage will make that deal. Republicans argue the bill is too costly and doesn't do enough to get people back to work and school. This morning, the acting chief of the Capitol Police testifying in ongoing congressional hearings over the January 6 riots. Before recently becoming acting chief, she was in charge of assessing threats to the Capitol. Now she's facing questions from lawmakers. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has more.
The United States Capitol Police had over 1,200 officers working on the grounds at the time of the attack. Acting Chief of Police Yogananda Pittman testifying that although the floor of the House and the Senate were breached, Capitol Police succeeded in its larger mission.
The United States Capitol Police protected the congressional leadership, members, and the democratic process.
Pittman's testimony complex and honest, admitting to lawmakers warning signs were there. An interagency intelligence assessment issued January 3rd predicted Congress and the certification of the Electoral College vote could be the target that day. Pittman describing that early report.
Demonstrators saw this as a last opportunity to overturn the results of the presidential election, and they were desperate.
She says Capitol Police did change their plans based on this intel and requested National Guard support ahead of time, a request that was denied. Like other top officials in charge that day, Pittman arguing too that none of the intelligence really imagined the magnitude of what actually unfolded. The challenge for lawmakers now, how to move on. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer arguing Capitol Hill cannot remain a militarized zone indefinitely.
The Capitol has been and must be once again a symbol of democracy that's accessible to the people.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has proposed the idea of a 9/11-style commission to probe even further into what exactly went wrong that day. But yesterday, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell blasted her, saying he thought any potential commission needed to have exactly equal representation, a 50-50 split between Democrats and Republicans. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Washington.